Hey, you join me here at Fuji Speedway. We're at Nismo Festival, and I thought as a separate video, I wanted to kind of cover what you can expect to see at a big event like Nismo Festival when it comes to car parks. So car parks have always been a big thing for us on Speedhunters. We would go out, say at events like Tokyo Auto Salon, and check out what people would drive to the event, because you kind of get a really, I guess, real representation of what people are actually driving in Japan, how they're modifying their cars. And there's a bunch of interesting stuff driving by. I do love this. TikToker 315. So basically, kind of want to show you what people bring to events like this. So we're going to go down to this massive car park, like all the way down there, and have a look through the hundreds of cars that are parked up. Looks like we just arrived in time. Look what's rolling in. Hell yeah, Kaido Racer galore. Right, there's more coming. Look at this. Right, wasn't expecting that. Hopefully they roll around and we get to see them again. Wait, we got more coming. Okay, so made it down to the car park. This is what we got to walk through right now. I think I'll be here for a few hours, honestly. Right, time to go. All right, let's get started. First thing is a nice little group, 34, 32, and an S14, white on white. I actually do love the hood on this car, the NACA duct, kind of like a 34 V-Spec 2. Black metallic 32 on R34 wheels, silver R34 carbon risers. Nice 11 on TE37Bs. Very clean, very simple car. Over here we have another S chassis, S15 Spec S, so this is NA. It's got the Super GT ballast stickers on the back window here. Obviously, motorsport fan. I'm just gonna keep wandering in random directions here because it's this varied. Look at this cool March on OZ rims. White on white, love it. Two S15s, both on carbon bonnets. Stagia. But right behind it, Z31, so sick. I love the wheels on these cars. These are the perfect wheels to get rebarreled to something wider. So simple, US bumpers, 300 ZR. Next to it, GTST, 4-door, and a completely stock looking blue S13. Look at this thing. It's a Q's S13, completely stock, right down to the ride height. You see what I mean? Car parks are the best in Japan. Pretty serious looking R32 GTR, Nismo sticker, Nismo spoiler. It's got the Nismo Brembo R35 package hiding behind some TE37 SLs. And the cool thing is they've repurposed the Skyline center cap. Very cool. Z34 on Nismo LMGT4s. Right behind that, V-Spec side blue on black TE37s, carbon risers, and a Mines trunk spoiler. Unique. Let's keep moving. A couple of 33s back here. GTR from Shiga. That's quite the drive. It's got the 400R type rear spoiler. Bit of a fade on the carbon resin. And right next to it, GTS 25T. It's not all GTRs, of course. There's a GR86 Toyota. A couple of Nismo smaller cars. We have a March Nismo S on one side and the Note Aura e-Power on the other. An RS4S Stagia, Subaru STI Impreza. I get a lot of stick in the comments saying that I don't show Subarus. Come on guys, if they're cool, I'll stop and have a look. So here's one sitting on Advan racing wheels. Next to it, another March Nismo S, and I've spotted another cool S chassis. Let's go check that out. There it is, 240 180 SX. Oh man, I love the fitment on this. Some Meisters, tiny little wheels with some crazy chunky tires. Do love this. These are 15s. Thumbs up from me on this one. Just needs to be a little bit lower. Right, I've come to the very top of the car park here. This well-used R34 V-Spec 2 on some Impel wheels, I think. Little lifted Jimny. Check this out. Cool Leopard here believe this was an Infinity in the US. Very rare cars, you hardly get to see these. There's actually one guy that comes out to Daikoku one of these with an RB26 swap. But I don't think this is that car because it still has the automatic in there. Over here, something very, very cool. This is an Autech Micra. Not sure where the R comes from. Sitting on enkoy wheels, going for this rally look with the big IPF projectors, hood scoop. Super cool. Sitting right across from this R32 four-door. A couple of more GTRs. R34 with Z-Tune body. 35 new Z. And something a little bit rarer, R34 M-Spec. You don't see a lot of these out anymore. Of course, it came with that silica breath color. This is the Mizuno spec. Mizuno-san is actually the man behind the R34 GTR, as well as Watanabe-san. So when Watanabe retired, went to Nismo. I think he was the CEO of Nismo at one point. And then Mizuno took over, created the Koki R34, and part of that was actually the creation of the M-Spec, the Mizuno spec, which had ripple control dampers, which were supposed to be a little bit more gentle for handling and just living with an R34 from day to day. And here's another R34, really cool spec, Nismo wing at the back, literally like R34 hunting. You can see how people are really paranoid about their cars, even at an event like Nismo Festival and Fuji Speedway. Another Z31 back here, and a nice 35 on Yokohama GTs. I'm kind of walking all the way back to the very top of the car park again, because I forgot to show you guys this Star Road S30 with the ZG nose. I love the glow star wheels. Sitting on RE11Rs. Take a look from the back. Very sick. Old school Z. Can't pass up showing a nicely dropped Yunus Roadster. And one that gets used and abused. That's good tire wear, my friend. Thumbs up from me. Let's keep moving. R34 four-door on BBS LMs. Nice little Daihatsu Mira. You guys tell me what spec you think this is. Check out the exhaust on this. Interesting approach to modifying a little K-car right down to the oil cooler mountain on the bumper. Very fitting because we just saw some Bosozoku cars earlier on. This is pretty cool. The Zenki R35 GTR as it came out in 2007 here in Japan. Those legendary 20-inch wheels right behind it. Zenki GTT with those original Skyline wheels. All stock by the look of it. Stock exhaust, stock ride height, 25 GTT. Here's another GTT, completely not stock and very, very catchy when it comes to the color selection, and pretty much every single Nismo sticker available applied across the entire body. Gotta show the little Honda S660. Unfortunately, another car that's been cancelled from production. I'm not sure why Honda did that. They should have just kept at it because it was selling actually pretty well. Right here we have a Subaru Legacy with the Zero Sport grille conversion. I actually used to run a Legacy wagon, the 3-liter, the 30R. Pretty cool car. I did enjoy the engine, even though it had absolutely no torque. That said, this, if it's real, is something really special. Tommy Kaira S13, are you serious? M20 SI, what is this? I have no idea what I'm looking at here. I've never even heard of Tommy Kaira doing anything with the S chassis. It looks like it's legit. If you know anything about this thing, let me know in the comments. More S chassis, 180 and an S13 on Watanabe's. A couple of more back here. We have S15 all the way from Osaka and a slammed Koki S14. Okay, we have another Mazda Roadster, this time one of those hardtop versions, and right behind it something a little bit more vintage. Let me just walk past this Serena and Z Nismo because I just spotted another couple of S chassis, starting off with a very well used wide body S15 and this 180SX with a pretty exaggerated ducktail spoiler back there. Love the wheel selection at the front, so cool. There's so much here, let's keep walking. Check this R32 GTR on white TE37Vs. Keep going. We find another Z31, completely stock. Again, those really cool wheels, they're just begging to be rebarreled. All right, so as I walk past this Nissan Sunny VZR, another rare thing that you just do not see anymore these days, especially sitting on TE37s. I spotted the rarest JDM car in existence, the Mitsubishi GTO. Now, of course, the GTOs were never the most popular of cars in Japan. They did a little bit better in the US. So it does make sense that you don't really see these too often these days. So it's always a bit of an event when you come across one. Always cool to have a little look at one, especially one that looks pretty stock. More GTRs, 34, RZ34, R32 on LMGT4s, and it gets pretty crazy from now on because I'm not even halfway across this massive car park. Let's keep moving. Check this out. Lexus LS on Advan GTs. Massive 21-inch wheels front and back. It's pretty sick. Really clean and very interesting color on this S15. It's like a metallic yellow, so I don't think this is factory at all, but I do love the fitment. Advan RZs and the Vertex Lang kit really is probably one of my favorite kits on the S15. Right next to it, something a little bit older, not exactly sporty, but a Pathfinder V6 R3M. Well used. Got to show a bit of everything, right? With the black hood. Super cool. Jeez, look how clean this gunmetal 32 is. Love the R34 like carbon front splitter, LMGT4s with some Brembo calipers back there. Beautiful. I wonder if it's repainted. Looks super clean. All right, just keeps going. Almost getting lost here. Nice Nismo 32 right next to a 33 LM. What's hiding behind Japan's favorite French car, the Renault Kangoo. We'll have to talk about that someday. But yeah, nice Hako from Biko Works on some really deep dish Watanabes. Always very difficult to tell if it's a real S20 powered GTR, but the looks are definitely on point. How about this for a nice Z pairing? Z32 and RZ34. But check out the back of this Z32 all the way from Yamanashi. Massive wing back there. All right, more to look at. And here we have pretty much the last two remaining sports cars on sale in Japan today, the FL5 Type R and the RZ34. There's a cool little Note S Nismo here, white on white with the work emotions. And right behind it, an A90 Supra, pretty much all stock. Pretty crazy wide body Z33 here. Not sure what kit this is. It's got that 380 RS inspired rear bumper. Big wing, massive raised wheels. Kind of reminds me of a Garage Mac build from back in the day. Right next to it, 260 RS Stagia on R34 wheels. Just to pretty much give you the perfect example of how Japan is extremely varied. Keep going. I did spot something a little bit more vintage here. Really cool R30 Skyline. 4-door. It's got the super old Nismo wheels. This is pretty much at the time that Nismo came to be in the early 80s. And check out the lace on the seats. So sick. Japan is all about variety, and this is another great example. Renault Twingo on white Steelies. Love the swimming pool blue color choice. Discolored bumpers and all. Love it. How about this for a bit of variety? Toyota Carina on some maybe fake T37. I love the tire to wheel ratio. This is extremely well done. I love it. Nice S13 here as well, hiding behind some cones. I think I need to do a whole video on cones in Japan, or Japan's love for cones in general. Oh, the 32 here. But right behind it, and as we pass another Nismo Skyline, 180SX and a very, very stock looking Spec R S15. Two-tone S13 Qs on R32 rims, carbon bonnet, Project Mu rotors. Right behind that, Z33, probably the cheapest car that you can actually buy now in Japan, second-hand sports car. Right behind it, another completely stock R34 GTR Bayside Blue, and this actually has the dealer option oil cooler that came with those two kind of like contours, for one for the intake, one for the exhaust of the vents on the bumper. And I even found another LM Limited R33 GTR, and just look at the size of this Nismo exhaust. The rare stuff just keeps coming. Original number plate Hako on Steelies, well used it seems. It's cars that like these that actually turn out to be the real deal rather than the continuous replicas we come across. And a Bug-Eye Impreza, because these are getting ridiculously rare. Looks like it has the same issue that 34s get on the projectors. Right, let's keep going. Evo Wagon. You can tell when these are well used because the Brembo calipers just go completely discolored. Ganador mirrors as well. Yellow Nismo kitted Z33. Right behind a black on black 32 GTR with a Pro Stock sticker. Possibly the best color for an R33 GTR. I love this kind of like almost purple blue that they offered for a while. Good contrast with the gold gram lights. Sick Primera. I love these things. I love the gigantic exhaust. The exhaust hanging out the back, almost scraping. Mesh wheels, stripped out interior. That's right. These are the kind of cars that people love to hit the toges with. And right in front is another cool Nissan. This time an R31 Skyline. GR Yaris. Keep going. 32 GTR, 33 GTR right here, and another slammed 180. But wait, there's a lot more. Another stock looking K's S13, 14 Koki on Yokohama 3 spokes. Another S13. Oh god, this is awesome. So glad I came down here. Interesting hood on this. Wonder what that's all about. Excellent fitment, kind of like 90s, mid-90s approach to tuning. An S13 topped off with that nicely contoured rear spoiler. More GTRs, pretty decked out Subaru wagon. These Legacies really do age pretty well, I have to say. They're a big favorite in the kind of slammed type of niche. Keep going, another R33 GTR, this time sitting on LMs. Little Mini, and even a Corvette. Actually, I've been seeing a lot of the new Corvette, the mid-engined one. Here in Japan, I think they're doing pretty well with sales. I've seen a bunch of like convertibles as well, 32. And we keep going. We've reached one side of the parking, so we'll have to walk all the way back now. See what we can find on the return journey. We have another cool one here. Suzuki Alto Works on T37s. All right, here's another rare one behind the Subaru Levorg Outtech R33 GTR. The only four-door GTR ever made of the RB26 generation. Very rare one, and one that's appreciating an alarming rate right now. Keeps going. I mean, it's insane. It is Nismo Festival after all. Get the best of the best coming out. Another great 32 on LMs. A V-Spec 234 next to a Hachiroku. Another R34 GTR. We saw the new gen LS before on the Advan GTs. Now we have something a little bit more Bippu style, the VIP approach to customizing big luxury sedans. This is actually wide body. Look at the widenings happened across here. Massive, massive wheels from Bodyworks Miyamoto. So I'm heading towards these two Z's here. Kind of like show approach Z33 and very old school Z32. 32 GTR with lots of Mines Wave stickers. This is a very vintage one. Next to another Outtech 40th anniversary four-door GTR. Like, I don't know if you've seen the Nismo video, the Nismo Festival video, but I think we're getting even more excitement coming to look at the user car park. And a lot of people are already leaving. It's kind of mid-afternoon now. So I'm trying to rush to get as much as I can and just show you a good representation of what people are using, what people are driving in Japan. I just spotted a very, very rare 34. This is the Midnight Purple 3 V-Spec. Very few of these were made, and this fetches a massive premium in the second-hand car market. Yep, that's a Nissan Titan pickup truck. Obviously, parallel import from the US. Right next to a Mazda RX-8 and yet another new gen Fairlady Z. We do like vintage wheels, period correct BBS RSs on this 32. Right next to the 32 we have this 31 sitting on some old Volk Racing Rays wheels. More GTRs, so many notes. But here's something else I wanted to show you guys. A Nissan Bluebird Triple S on Watanabe's. Another affordable way to get into driving, but probably not the right model for enthusiasts because this, unfortunately, runs a CVT transmission. Blech. Itasha Nismo S Micra, why not? And I think this is like the fourth or fifth Suzuki Alto Works that I come across. This has got tuned by HKS all over it. It's cool to see that people modify these really cool K cars. All right, I hope you enjoyed this walk around of the Nismo Festival car parks here at Fuji Speedway. Like I said, I really wanted to try and show you what you can expect to find at big events like this in Japan. Most of the time, the car parks are just as pleasing to visit and walk through than the event itself. And today we really proved that. I mean, the selection of cars was pretty much mind-blowing, of course, kind of leaning mainly towards Nissan. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Don't forget to check out dinodc.co for the merch and support us on Patreon. It really does help bring us all this content from Japan. And again, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It helps tremendously. And again, massive thank you for the support. Till the next video, goodbye.